welcome back, guys. I thought this would be an interesting video to film. I wanted to do something along the lines of setting up a scene. Now, normally when I'm setting up a scene to take a shot for ACBA or toy photography, I usually set up the scene first, and then I'll put the figure in last. But I thought it would be interesting if I threw the figure in first, and then we set up the scene kind of around him. Now, I will pick him up and move him out of the way when I need to in order to put stuff in, but that's kind of what I wanted to do with this. This is a very simple shot. We got Taskmaster here, who, by the way, is one of the most badass Marvel villains of all time. Not really happy with what they did to him in Black Widow, but that's a different story for a different time. Anyways, back to this. We have a couple mods on this Taskmaster. He doesn't have his original sword. I believe this is the sword from the DC Universe Classics Deathstroke. I've always really loved this sword, but the handle's just a little too small to fit in most figures' hands. So it finally just came about that I swapped his right hand on this Taskmaster, and the handle actually fit perfectly into his right hand there. I believe it's a Moon Knight hand. So I've always really loved that sword. It's got just the perfect orange that matches the orange with this figure. So that kind of worked out. Then we also did a couple other mods like I mentioned. We got a new cape on him from GP Slot on eBay. GP Slot is probably like the main man when it comes to soft goods, accessories for Marvel Legends and tons of other action figure lines. So this cape was actually meant for the movie version of Taskmaster, but I think it works pretty well with this Taskmaster. Now, of course, I did have to cut up his cape a little bit in order to include this gold right here. I wanted to keep that little gold band he has around the front of him. So I had to cut the cape a little bit, but certain angles you won't even notice that the cape is cut, and you'll just think it's kind of fluid all the way through with this new cape here. I got the idea to do this GP Slot cape with this Taskmaster from a good buddy of mine, Diego, who runs The Grind over on Facebook. The Grind is like the setup kind of group that helps you get your lighting down, and it helps you also get your setups and your camera settings, and they just basically help you get the best shot that you can for your ACBA posts or your posts on Instagram, wherever you do post your action figure shots. It's basically just a training ground, and I pretty much learned everything I know personally from The Grind, so I'll put a link to The Grind in the description below in case you guys want to, learn some more toy photography tips and tricks and just become overall a better toy photographer. It's a great place, lots of helpful people over there. But yeah, anyways, back to Diego. I got the idea from Diego to put this cape on him, and because he did a shot with it, and I just loved it so much. So I put that cape on him. So this is the Taskmaster. So let's slowly start to build our scene here. We're just going to start with 1/12 props one by one, and we'll just kind of filter them in, because as it looks right now, it's pretty bare. It's just like a little diorama with nothing in it. The diorama, by the way, is from Jedi John Singer on Instagram. Great diorama maker. So yeah, let's start doing that. I'm going to move him just a little bit further back so I can show you guys this first accessory. This is from Henry715 on Instagram. He also has a eBay store, which I believe is called the Beltran Bros, and they've been making props forever, and they make really great props. This is just regular pink foam that they painted and cut out and made it look like just a regular old crate. Could be any number of things in this crate, but the paint application on this crate is just unbelievable. So I've always really loved using these. I don't really get to use these props too often. But I do, when I do get to use them, I really enjoy using them, actually. So let's move this out of the way, and what we're going to do is we're just going to layer stuff in. We're just going to layer it in one by one. So we're going to put this over there, and of course when you buy them from Henry, he gives you multiples of them. So we got a set of 3 right there, and let's move on to the next accessory. Alright, our next accessory here is a little 1/12 scale crate. It's a 3D printed, and it's got a really nice design on it. And these are always really useful, especially when you're beginning out with toy photography. I mean, they're so versatile. You can just kind of layer them into all kinds of stuff. Believe it or not, though, I don't really use them that often, so I'm actually kind of stoked a little bit that I get to throw them in this shot here. But yeah, not really much going on with these. I did do a black wash on them quite a while ago. This is actually one of the first props I ever picked up for toy photography. So yeah, you do a little black wash. It makes them a little bit more used and a little bit, you know, a little bit more wear on them. So these are also great. They pair pretty good with the Beltran Bros crates over there. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of filter these in to the left over here. And when you buy these, I don't know exactly who made these right here, unfortunately, but there's so many different people that have this exact schematic for 3D printing for these crates that if you just went on eBay and looked up 1/12 scale crate, I'm almost sure you'll run into those. Or, you know, it doesn't always have to be eBay. You could do Etsy or sometimes Mercari, but eBay's usually the best place. But yeah, I believe they sell them individually. Sometimes they sell them in like multiples. I ended up getting like 12 of them. So let's filter these in. All right, we're gonna throw another one in right here. Couple more in right here, and you know, when you're putting them in, they don't gotta be perfect. You know, let's make them a little sloppy. You know, they don't gotta be looking too good. Who knows? Maybe the guy that was putting these in the warehouse was a little drunk. You never know. He might have, you know, done a bad job of it. We don't know. You just don't gotta look perfect. You know, it's your shot. You can kind of mess around with it and do it whatever way pleases you best, I guess. I don't ever like my shots looking super clean unless that's the feel I'm going for. But this is a warehouse. I'm just going for just kind of random stuff thrown in, you know. Let's put a little space in there. Sometimes it's nice to not make everything look so clean, you know. So that looks pretty interesting right there. So yeah, that's that prop right there. Next up, we're going to be using some 1/12 scale barrels. So these are actually from a couple different places. I believe I got these ones on eBay. And I believe I don't know where everybody that makes these gets the little plastic barrels. Maybe someone in the comments will know, but it seems like most of everyone uses the exact same design, but they're just usually painted differently. So these ones I got from eBay. I forget exactly who made these, but they got this really cool hazardous waste like sticker on the top, and they're just really beat up. I mean, these are like the kind of barrels you find at the bottom of the ocean or something, and hopefully there's treasure in them. Yeah, and these ones are a little bit more straightforward, just a simple coating of silver paint and then some rust run on there. These ones are from Shop X Manny. So X Manny 87 has a little shop that he does a lot of 1/12 scale props, and man, he does a really good job of throwing in dioramas and props, and they're, like I've mentioned before in a previous episode, they're really affordable, man. So there's not really much to them as long as they're painted good, and I don't know if Manny himself is painting these or if it's his wife, but they do an excellent job painting these little barrels. So we're going to filter these in. We're going to mix and match them. Once again, we're going to try to not make it look too clean. Let's move him forward so he's a little bit out of the way, front and center. And let's filter some of these in, man. I also forgot to mention that I'm actually going to be putting the barrels on these little scaled down pallets that actually came with this diorama from Jedi John Singer. So we're going to put them on there. This is kind of like a warehouse scene, as we can tell. We've got lots of crates. We're going to do some barrels. So we're going to put them on top of this and just make it seem like, hey, they're moving inventory in and out of this place quite a lot. So it'd be interesting to see. And there's some other designs of different barrels in here that I didn't show previously to you guys, but these ones once again are from Shop X Manny, and I really do like these barrels. And these are great for just all kinds of different shots, man. They don't have to. There's not any like rhyme or reason to how you set this stuff up. It's just kind of how you want to do it. Have fun doing it. Sometimes I have a lot of fun just setting up the scene, and then posing the figure is the hardest part. So it's pretty cool. So kind of get the idea of like, who knows what's in these barrels. Maybe, like I said, buried treasure. That's what everybody always wants in the barrels. But so yeah, we're just kind of filtering these in. And we have an extra barrel. I think Manny sold all those with in a set of 4, so we have a couple more accessories we can throw in. You know, you never want to throw in like a crazy amount of accessories, but you still want to build your scene, so it's kind of like a good balance. I mean, then again, I'm just the one saying that you might be throwing in too much accessories, but maybe you might be not throwing in enough accessories, so you just kind of got to judge it. As long as the figure's forefront and he is the focus of your picture, I think you're good. These are little 1/12 scale prop milk crates. Now, would milk crates be in an industrial setting? I don't know, maybe, but we're gonna put them in anyways. So we're gonna kind of filter those in a little bit. They don't gotta be too clean. They could be a little messy. But as we can see, the scene is kind of coming together here. It's looking pretty good. You know, like I said, this is just a really simple shot. I just kind of wanted to show you guys how, like, the method of, you know, building a little scene and kind of having fun doing it. Of course, you know, you gotta build up your dioramas, but you know, you can start off with props and then maybe just start off with one of these little backgrounds, and maybe you can make one. You know, these are just made of foam. You know, you just carve in the little details and paint it. It's nothing super complicated. There's a million videos on YouTube that show you how to make 1/12 scale dioramas. So if you just follow that, the foam is like $4 a pop. Who knows how much the paint is, but you know, you can just get a little you know, creative with it and build it. Maybe you already got some dioramas. Maybe you got some cool set pieces that came with some other figures. You know, it's just about building a scene and having fun, man. And here we got a little dolly, man. I bought this on Etsy. It was 3D printed, and when they printed it, they put this part right here on the wrong side. It's supposed to be going the other side, so now there's no way it can really lift anything up because the wheels are on the wrong side. But hey, I don't think anybody will really notice, so we're gonna throw this in there because once again, this is a little industrial setting. Let's just throw that against the back there, and hopefully no one notices that the wheels are backwards. So that would be good if no one did notice. Well, you guys know now, so damn it. Another little effect, coffee cup. You know, I worked in a warehouse. We drank coffee every now and again. Where should I put this? That's the real question. Maybe on top of the barrel. That may move. I'm not too sure. He may be covering it. Yeah, you guys can't see it. That's done. I don't want to dirty up the floor too much, but maybe that'll be kind of interesting right there. Like, maybe the fight happened and they busted in the warehouse. Some dude was holding a coffee and he's like, oh, god damn it. These guys are coming in here and killing each other. Who is this dude? Let's move him back. We got just a couple more things we're adding in. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed. You probably can't really see because this is kind of perpendicular with the shot, but there's a gigantic hole right here. And even though I don't think it's going to show up in the shot, just to cover my ass a little bit, I got this little just piece of paper. And this works great with trash. I mean, you could probably go find this somewhere or make this somewhere. It's just a really thin piece of paper. And I'm just going to kind of throw that right over the hole. So that hole looks like it never existed. I got a couple more pieces. Let's just kind of throw them in there. Get the idea. We don't want to make it look too clean, but we don't also want to throw too much trash on the ground. We don't really know what establishment this is, but I don't want to insult them by showing everybody how dirty their warehouse is. Okay, we can move Taskmaster now back to the front. Lighting's very simple on this shot. I got a light right up there, my little rim lighting. I got a light coming down right here. Boom, boom, boom. And then I have another light. Maybe I can show you guys this light right here. It's my trusty panel mini from Loom Cube. They're a little pricey. They're on Amazon, but they are probably my favorite lights. Honestly, out of everything I use, I am always using those lights. And they have tons of different little customizable things you can do with the lights to make it warmer or cooler. And they're also very soft lights. That's a really important thing, especially when you have a light that's kind of going straight onto a figure. If you have a really sharp looking light, it's going to create like a glare or something. But these these have these like little covers on them right here, and it just kind of softens the light a little bit. You might see a lot of action figure photographers putting like tissue paper over their lights, and that's to soften the light so it's not too sharp or too insanely focused and bright on one area of the figure. In some cases you can't really do anything about that, but if you can, it's always a good move, especially when it's focused on a figure. Alright, we're going to add one more light. As we can all see, we got this window back here, and we got to light that son of a bitch up. We really do. And guy that made this diorama, he did a really good job of dirtying up, so maybe we should have added more trash on the ground here, because this window does not look to be in too good a shape here. But we're going to add one little light. This is a little panel light that I use. It covers a good amount of area, and it's really big too. And we can turn that on. So we're just gonna put this puppy right behind here, and it covers that whole window. So boom, it is daylight. And I don't know if it's showing in the shot, but it may provide a nice little backlighting onto the back of his hood there. So this is looking pretty good, man. I'm digging this. You know, this isn't a game-changing shot by any means, but it is a fun little scene. And if you are just trying to highlight how cool a figure is, or maybe you got some new accessories on your figure that you want to show off, or maybe you're just practicing, I think this is an excellent way to do it. So we're actually going to get down to doing the shot, taking the pictures, and then I will come back and show you guys the results. But yes, this is how you create a scene. And it's not too bad if you ask me. So let's get to it and I'll be right back. Alright, so we have taken our shots and they look pretty good. They look pretty simple. I mean, this is a really simple shot. We got the Taskmaster here in a very vanilla pose, just kind of showing off those new accessories. It's not something I'd normally post. I try to make something a little bit more dynamic, maybe tell a story. As far as I'm concerned, he's kind of just standing in the middle of a warehouse, but it looks cool, man. It looks really cool. We got the right lighting. We added an additional light over here to the right, and it's kind of pointed at the ground, maybe to give a little bit of a reflection and a little bit of side and back lighting onto him. But yeah, it's a really fun little shot. The reason I'm doing this, I just really wanted to show you guys how I normally set up a scene, and you know, all the 1/12 scale props. You know, it's always good to have props. And the cool thing about, you know, toy photography and ACBA and everything is you don't have to only have fun with posing your figures. You can have fun with setting up a scene and everything like that. So pretty cool. You guys probably noticed that the temperature for this photo is a little bit different. I did change the white balance, which turned it from like a warmer mood to a you know, a more fluorescent kind of mood. I was thinking about the shot and I was like, you know, they're in a warehouse, and clearly, judging by this light right here, that's outside, it's daylight. So, you know, the warehouses I worked in, they had more fluorescent type lights. They didn't have those like yellowish, like brighter lights on the inside. I mean, some do, but so it just made more sense to me. You got to kind of keep that in mind too when you're taking shots. If it's something indoors, maybe the lighting's a little bit different, you know? Maybe look up some sources, Google some stuff. I don't know. I also took a shot, though, of the warmer tone, and I actually like both of them. Not sure which one I'll post. Not even sure if I'll post this at all. This is almost a little bit too simple for the stuff I normally post, but, you know, it's a story nonetheless, and I had a good time, you know, putting it all together. It was just a little fun, simple shot to, you know, highlight a really cool figure that doesn't really get that much love, man. Taskmaster doesn't really get that much love. Will we ever see an updated Taskmaster? I mean, I would love to. Maybe something with butterfly joints. I mean, this is using the Bucky cap mold from a million years ago, so it'd be nice to get something more updated. I mean, every figure really deserves butterfly joints at this point. But yeah, fun little scene. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. You know, make sure to check out my Instagram if you guys want to message me or you have a question. You know, put it in the comments, or you know, you can private message me on Instagram. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me. But until next time, this is Century Productions, and thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Peace.